Hello everyone and welcome back to Top of the Box in the Game Emporium, where I'm going to be talking about some of the board games I've played this month. This is part of my sort of New Year's resolution to play through my entire collection of about 180 odd games, and this is as good a way as any to keep myself honest on how many games I'm playing over the course of the month. This is going to be a little bit more informal than some of the other videos that have come up, because I'll be looking at my phone here to remind myself of the games that I've played. And it's been a while since I've talked about board games. And if you saw the video as to why that is, stuff's just been happening. But hey, look, new table. Nice new Geek and Sun table. It's so pretty. There's a lot of stuff in here. This room is clogged. There's a lot of stuff happening here that I need to sort out. But I'll probably start with getting rid of some of the games that are over on the table over there, which are the games that I'm potentially getting rid of. I need to play them to see if I want to get rid of them. Potential card coming. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So I'm planning on playing my games all the way from... I've taken it from Christmas Eve through till Christmas next year, or probably the end of this year, just because you get a lot of party games played in that time, and you don't really necessarily want to play those again anytime soon. Or at least I find I don't, because my family likes to play the same games over and over again. So to give a little variety, I've gone, let's include this time. Why not? We're going to just talk about them. See what happens. First up was Herd Mentality. Is a fairly common one that my family loves to play. Playing the cow-based game where you're just trying to get some points, trying to answer the same answers and stay in the herd and get the most common answer. It's along there with Green Team Wins. It's a very similar style of game. I think Herd Mentality came out first. It's one that my family really enjoys. We also played Sounds Fishy, which is not one that I own. It was my cousin's fiance's Christmas present from my mum. Typical of my mother, she asked me for some recommendations of it. Saw Sounds Fishy and said, "Does this sound good?" I said, "I have no idea, I haven't played it," so she got it anyway, ignoring my recommendations. Because, sure, thanks mum. Then we played Ransom Notes and Just One on Christmas Eve. Ransom Notes being a game where you're putting together kind of like a Cards Against Humanity kind of thing, where you're trying to impress the judge, but you're doing this with a bunch of little tiny magnetic words onto a little magnet board that you're then going to show around. Just One, fairly straightforward party game where you've got one word answer that you're trying to get to. You can all put in a clue. Someone's got to try and figure it out. Nice little card game. Again, people really enjoy that one. Then during that weird time between Christmas and New Year's, we went over to my mother-in-law's and we played some more games. We played a lot of Codenames, which is a good little guessing game for people to try and figure out these words. You work in pairs or teams or whatever. You can try and give a clue saying banana 3, and you've got to find the words that are the code names linked to the phrase that you gave. And it worked out pretty well. We tried some good cross combinations, and pretty good fun. We also played Cartographers, the map drawing game, roll and write, flip and write, which is one of my favourites. I think it really boosted that genre of write games, which I really enjoy. It's good fun. I really enjoyed that one. And then we followed up with, of course, Carcassonne. We also played Articulate, but it's not in my collection. I don't need to worry about that. But we played Carcassonne, my big box, which Laura got me, which is up there, out of shot. But really enjoyed playing Carcassonne. Carcassonne is fantastic. We used my original game of Carcassonne as our wedding guest book, which is really nice. We need to actually hang that up at some point. Haven't done that yet. Let's see. A few more games played on BGA. That is another thing about this challenge, by the way. I'm trying to play these all physically rather than playing them on Board Game Arena, which for a lot I could play maybe 30-40% of my collection on BGA and just get it cleared out immediately. But I don't want to do that. I want to actually open them up and play them physically. I bought them, so I might as well play them. Then January rolled around. We actually got into the challenge proper-ish, I guess. I went along to my friend Dave's and we played Clank for the first time in a really long time. Love Clank. Deck builder, dungeon, diver. You're just trying to get around, get some treasure, get out. I unfortunately died just about 2 steps away from my escape, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. But love Clank. Good fun there. Laura and I played, to inaugurate the table, we played one of the first board games that we ever played together, which was Stone Age, which is a very classic worker placement game. You're going to put workers into different action spots. Number of workers can relate to the number of dice you get to roll. It's one of those games that is a classic you forget about until you play it, and you're like, yeah, I really like Stone Age. And then it kind of just disappears. It probably isn't helped by some of the art style, but love Stone Age. It's great. Then I played a bunch of solo games because I had the time for it on a weekend. I played some Final Girl. I played it with the Once Upon a Full Moon box, which is one of my favourites because it's Little Red Riding Hood going through that sort of storybook against the Big Bad Wolf. It's also one of the easier ones, I find. There's a lot of Final Girl on the shelf behind me. It actually takes up an entire shelf all by itself. So there's a lot of Final Girl that I could potentially play throughout this year. Maybe I'll get back to it a little more. And then I followed it up with Hallertau, which is up over there somewhere. Hallertau is the farming Uwe Rosenberg games, the only farming Uwe Rosenberg game that I own and enjoy, where you've got a bunch of blue cubes, you're just going to place them down, you've got a whole bunch of different resources, you're going to be moving your barn or village hall to the right by spending resources to move these different buildings and upgrade your village. It's good fun. It's got a whole lot of cards that you have to work with, and you can get some really cool combos off them, giving you some bonus resources or ongoing income. I really like it. Hallertau's great. More Carcassonne online. More Cartographers online. And then Laura and I played Windmill Valley, which is a great board and dice game. I think it was one of my games of 2024, where you are spinning your windmill around based on the water level. Quite how the interaction of water and wind makes, I don't really know. It's Windmill Valley, whatever. But it spins around and you get tulips. You get to plant some tulips into your garden. You get to harvest them, get the bulbs and put them into places. You get to do all sorts of fun combo-y actions with this little spinny gear system, which I think is really neat. I went back to Manus Group, which is our friendly game store, which was open on Thursday for the first time in a long time, really. Played a whole bunch of Bomb Busters that evening. I can understand why that one was nominated. I think won the Spiel des Jahres. Yeah, good little co-op game there. Then I had some more time to do some solo games, some more solo roll and writes, so I thought I need to try and keep the pace up a little bit. So I played Roll to the Top Journeys, which is a game where you're rolling dice and trying to fill in numbers in ascending order going up into these various monuments around the world. I think it's a fantastic little game. It's good fun. It's a nice way to just sort of kill 20 minutes or so. Just nice and relaxed. I also played Cascadia Rolling Rivers, which is a game where you're again rolling out dice to get different animals that you can then fill in on your sheet. You can spend the resources to fill in habitat cards and fill those in on your sheet as well to get some different bonuses around there. It's just a nice little Cascadia-esque feel to it, which was followed up by me and Laura playing actual Cascadia, which, again, really nice little game. One of the just chill experiences. It's one of those that it's been a while since I played it, but it's really just nice and relaxed to just pop it down on the table, just take a chill time, drawing tiles, placing it down, taking animals, pairing them up and trying to get as many points as you can. More solo roll and writing. I got to play Hadrian's Wall and Dungeons, Dice and Danger. Hadrian's Wall is the big roll and write, flip and write, I guess, that came from Garfield Games, where you're just trying to build up the wall, the Hadrian's Wall. You're just trying to tick off boxes and fill in different things, get up as many tracks as you can. After that, I also played the Anarchy, which is the sort of second follow-up. I'll come back to Dungeons, Dice and Danger in a minute. My thoughts are rambling. This is why I like doing these with other people, because then I can bounce off people and my brains are a little more focused. All of my brains. I realised I said plural there. All of the brains. But yeah, then I played the Anarchy, which is a more streamlined, a little heavier version of it, which has this nice little physical tower that you can play with. Or these nice little physical pieces where you're trying to defend against people coming in and invading. It's set in the time of Empress Matilda and King Stephen, which I think is an interesting historical period. And yeah, it's just another big roll and write game. I think it's really good fun. Dungeons, Dice and Danger is another one that I haven't played for a very long time, and is just you roll 5 dice, in fact, and you may use the dice in different combinations to try and cross off different boxes to defeat different monsters. I really like it. It's just a straightforward little dice chucker. You see what happens. Maybe it works out for you. Maybe it doesn't. But yeah, it's all good fun. Ross came by on one Friday and we played a couple of games for my collection. We played the Mistborn deck building game, I am on a real kick of Brandon Sanderson books at the moment. I've just finished listening through, I should say, the Stormlight Archive and quite a lot of his other Cosmere stuff. You might be able to see the Cosmere RPG just sort of tucked in over there. The starter set for me to try at some point. But the Mistborn deck building game is pretty intricate. You have your Mistborn, which can burn different metals to use them as resources. You can kind of trigger them to spin off and do different things as the game goes on, which I think is really cool. And yeah, big fan of the Brandon Sanderson works. I'm looking forward to seeing if there's potential expansions for the Mistborn deck builder. Otherwise, great deck builder. It does deck builder things. And then we played Five Tribes, which is a classic that I love and always come back to and go, oh, Five Tribes, I love Five Tribes. Where you are doing this Moncala system, you're picking up meeples, you're dropping them down onto the board, and wherever they stop, you pick up all the meeples of the same colour as the one just placed down. You trigger the tile, and if the tile happens to be empty, you get to take control of it, and you get to score a bunch of points at the end of it. You're bidding for your turn order. There's all sorts of fun stuff in there. But for the first time, we added in the Artisans of Nakala. I don't know. But that is a really interesting expansion. Just adds in some new difficulties, some new tiles, some new actions, some one-off powers, which are really cool. And yeah, really enjoyed that. That's it for the games that I played in my collection this year. We also went to Ross's again and played some games with him and his son. We played My First Castle Panic and Ticket to Ride First Journey with his 5-year-old, which was really good fun. It's nice to introduce kids to games. And then we started playing Tend. We got only about halfway through it though, before tiredness and a grumpy baby meant that we had to stop. But yeah, those are some of the games that I've been playing. Let me know in the comments below what you've been playing, and I can give you an update on the challenge as it stands now. Should have done this earlier. Look at this top tier preparation. As of today, which is the 30th of January, I am 19 games out of my 180 played, which is a good start, I think. The pressure seems to be to maintain 4 a week, and I'm a little ahead of that at the moment, so, 11% in. That's not bad. I do need to play more, though. I'm hoping that in February I'm going skiing with my family, which is going to be great. I'm going to take some games with me that we'll play. We'll play some more party games in the evenings. I might take some for me and Laura to play that are a little bit heavier, a little bit more involved, maybe something like... I say a little bit heavier. Things like Forever Home, which is a nice little Birdwood Games puzzle tile layer. Maybe Seven Wonders Duel as well. That's one of my favourites. King Domino might be a good one to take on. Hunter Tory. Those sort of simple small box tile placement games that don't take up too much space in a suitcase. Or maybe we'll look at something like maybe Boop. Take Boop along with us. A few other roll and rides to go in there. But yeah, we're going to have that week not working, skiing. If you've ever been skiing, you know that the plan is you get up at sort of 7 o'clock in the morning, have your breakfast, get on the lifts, ski all day until about 4 o'clock, and then you come home, shower, and then you've kind of got nothing else to do until dinner time. We're in a catered chalet, so we don't even have to worry about that too much. It's going to be great. Looking forward to it. So yeah, that's the plan. That's what we're up to. And yeah, that's how I'm keeping myself in check for these games challenges this year, is to basically say to myself, hey, tell people on the internet about them. If you're going to be at AirCon, let me know and we could try and get a game together. Until then, thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you again very soon. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. Bye everyone.